Welcome to the Primetime 585 podcast. My name is Karen Iglesias, co-founder of Primetime 5 in studio. The best producer in the land, Julio, who went to the draft, so Gerard is jealous. So last week he wasn't here, but he's back. Also joining us, we've got Roy Richards and Greg Hopkins from Changing the Community, CTC. We're going to talk to them later. And of course, the luckiest guy in Section 5, the luckiest man. Because he's married to me. What's it like being married to perfection, Gerard? Gerard?
Yeah.
What's it like? I said, what's it like being married?
I would like to find out.
A lot of testosterone. I need a female guest in this. Too much testosterone up in here. I need a female guest.
Yeah. I was, when you were gone yesterday, some guy came over doing a survey, right?
Uh-huh.
Knocked on the door, answered it. He said, just taking a quick survey. Are you married or are you happy?
We go at it each time. That's okay. That's okay. See, Greg and Roy, I feel like it's been 32 years. I feel like I'm doing an entire bid at this point. Like, I need probation, parole. What is it, parole? I need parole right now. I need parole. So 32 years later, and the man knows he's lucky. It's okay. You don't have to be so overjoyed. It's okay. We're going to get
Does this look like the face of an overjoyed man?
We're going to get right into flag football. And it is fitting that we got football guys in studio today. But let's talk some Hornell versus Canisteo Greenwood, Gerard. Wow. Listen, fellas, we got in the car. It's an hour 20 to Hornell.
Oh, I know. We said physical.
Yeah, that's out there.
It's out there, right? We got in the car, and I ain't going to lie to y'all. The whole time out there, I said, this better not be a tie. Because, in flag, there's no overtime.
Right.
And then we don't interview people in ties. If I drove an hour and a half, y'all know somebody get an interview, fellas, right? So it was actually tied up. So Gerard, talk about this game.
Now this game, it was 25-12. Hornell remained undefeated, but it was a lot closer than the score indicates because they scored 2 touchdowns in like the last 5 minutes or so.
Well, first of all, let's say Canisteo Greenwood is a part of the original 8.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the CTC guys know, but it started out with 8 flag football teams, and flag football in Section 5 is sponsored by the Bills, the Giants, and the Jets. They put the money together and started. So 4 years ago, it was only 8 teams. Now there's 43 in Section 5. And Canisteo Greenwood was one of the original, I call them the OGs. Yep. They're one of the original 8. And Hornell is a new team this year, consisting of probably some of the most dominant athletes in Section 5. And Gerard's going to talk about more about that. Talk about that, Gerard.
Yeah, well, Canisteo Greenwood, they got on the board first, 6-0. Hornell, they responded with a touchdown of their own when quarterback Reagan Evingham pitched it to Parker Graham for a 1-yard touchdown, 6-6. In the second quarter, Evingham threw a long pass to Alexis Smith for a 27-yard touchdown. It was 12-6, Hornell. Then Canisteo Greenwood's Reagan Freeland had an interception. Karen Mahaney threw a long pass on a halfback option, and Lila Greenfield made a great catch at the 2-yard line. But Selena Maldonado,
she's her.
Yo, Greg Hopkins, man, you got any football contacts for flag?
Because she needs.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
No, for real, Greg. When I say this girl is a 4-sport athlete, 4-sport
and
athlete,
dominant in all of them.
And I know when you're in a small town like a Hornell and stuff, you don't get seen.
Right.
But when I tell you, she moves different. Like, there's some people.
No, I know what you're talking about.
And you train Lainey Vargas, right?
Yeah.
From Finney.
Finney, yes.
Yeah, so football is football. So talk about, what are some of the things that, as a coach, as a trainer for flag, that's just comparable to regular football?
The movements is all the same.
Right.
Obviously, it's just no different than 7-on-7. You running, the cutting, the jumping, the sinking your hips and all that stuff. It's all the same. So we train them the same. Like, we train Lainey the same way we train Pootie Cunningham as a quarterback.
Really?
Yeah. So they're all doing the same movements. Like, we're not having to do anything different from the quarterback position that he's doing. And obviously, we see he's the number 1 quarterback in the state.
So when you see, I think the coach said, when we did this interview, the coach said just teaching the girls the language of football was a starter, right? Like, you're teaching a language, but what we're finding is soccer players soccer girl players are dominating this sport.
Because they already have the footwork. And plus, most girls aren't, once they get to a certain age, they're not running and jumping and cutting and doing the workouts that the average boy is doing. So what happens is the girls that are playing the sport, that play multiple sports, and then they get into flag, those same movements help them. And you get girls who just say, I just want to come out and play football for flag, but they're not doing anything to prepare for it. They don't have those same movements. You know, they might be fast or just naturally athletic, but they don't have the same movements as the girls who have been playing sports and been training for a certain sport. That's why you get the field hockey girls, the soccer girls, they move better when they playing flag.
Basketball too.
And basketball girls too as well.
Oh, that's interesting. So Roy, your thoughts on this? Because we're talking about Selena Maldonado, and she's a tremendous soccer player. She's a tremendous basketball player. She just went out last week and won the 100. She's a part of the 4x100 relay team. She's a 4-sport athlete. So do you think that those kind of things, that's what make them, I like what Greg is saying. I never thought about it that way.
Well, that's funny that you mentioned that because I was a 2-sport athlete in high school, and I ran track and played football. So I know for a fact that track translate.
Oh.
But, yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So when you have like younger kids, one of the best sports to get them into is soccer first, just to learn the body movements, and also basketball. So we can see here why she's so dominant is because of those backgrounds.
Wow. So it's good to have some football guys because this translates to, we have a lot of flag today. So Gerard, after that, talk about that after the third.
Okay. Well, we're going to go back to the second. Later in the second quarter, Canisteo Greenwood's Cora Button found Mahaney for a long pass. That is set up a touchdown pass from Button to Paris May to tie the game at 12. Now, it was scoreless in the third, and it looked like it was heading into overtime in the middle of the fourth.
I was having an attitude.
Oh,
Go
man,
ahead.
if we would have went all the way out there to see a tie. But then Selena Maldonado, who we were just talking about, she stepped in front of a pass and returned it 25 yards to the 10. And right after that, Effingham passed it to Bryn Wilkinson for a touchdown and an 18-12 lead. Canisteo Greenwood, they marched it down to the about midfield and was looking to tie it, but Maldonado intercepted a tipped pass, took it back 48 yards for the pick six. Effingham found Mia Nasca for the extra point. Final score, Cornell 25, Canisteo Greenwood 12.
But Canisteo Gerard is very good.
Yeah.
Very even until the last 5 minutes, I would say. One of the original 8, and I love that for them. They dropped to 5-3, but the 2 losses were against Hornell earlier in the year by 8 points and Geneseo. So,
but they beat Geneseo in the rematch, 33-6.
Right, that just shows
So they're getting better, yeah.
And they're well coached, right?
What's their record? You know.
Hornell is 8-0.
No, I'm talking about Canisteo.
They're 5-3.
They're 5-3.
2 of their losses was
to the original,
to Hornell.
Yeah, one of them was to Hornell. So as I said, they're the original 8. So the girls kind of move different because they know the game more. Right. Hornell, however, is in the same class as Aquinas. Yo, if y'all could see Aquinas play, what?
I mean,
AJ,
basketball team, the girls basketball team.
That's what they do. The team consists of their soccer team who went to states and their basketball team who won. It's the same 2 sports we're talking about. And when I tell you, absolutely, both teams are that's gonna be a great sectional matchup. If it goes, I mean, I don't want to say, they're both gonna go to sectionals.
Yeah, the trend is gonna be there. You're gonna be able to see the trend. The schools that have girls who play fall sports and then go into spring sports, that's going to be the more dominant teams because, again, they are moving. They have the movement of playing a sport and playing on grass and playing on the field and cutting and making moves. That's going to be the same movements you have in flag for flag football for girls. So.
Finney is like that, too, though. Finney got the same type of athletes. All those girls play at least all 3 seasons. Right. So that's the reason why Finney's also a dominant team.
And some of these girls run track, outdoor track.
At the same time.
Selena's doing well. 6 girls on the Hornell team now. Wow. 3 of the 4 girls in the 4x100 relay that just won last weekend is on this flag football team. So they're doing outdoor track and they're doing this. So that just tells you. But Selena Maldonado is one of the best, and her daddy is hilarious. That's my guy.
Super fan Julio.
Her dad is the best.
Best fan in Section 5.
In Section 5. They should just create and just put him in the Hall of Fame for fans. I don't know if it's one of them, but he's
he's in the Hornell Hall of Fame.
He is. I'm talking about for Section 5 because he cheers positively for every team that his daughter or the team Hornell plays against. And I'm all about positivity in sports, so that's my guy. I'm dying on this hill. Let's go on.
But Tennessee Greenwood, they got a shot at winning it.
Yeah, they do.
They got to go through Finney and East Rochester, who's undefeated.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, this is Cornell's first year, but they play together on multiple sports, like you just said.
That chemistry.
And they got chemistry, okay?
So talk about East Rochester. So Coach Johnson went and covered East Rochester versus Gananda flag. So y'all know in regular football, East Rochester and Gananda is combined, right? But they're actually stark rivals outside of everything else. So these girls, East Rochester got some girls. They got Lily Chambers Silver. She returned an interception for a touchdown. The only score of the game, this shows you how good Gananda is. East Rochester defense was led by Sloan Sawinski, who had 5 flagpoles, Chambers Silver, Peyton Kinney, and Mia Roundtree, each with 4 flagpoles. Kinney and Burrows each with a sack. ER remains undefeated, but they got this girl, La Bounty, on the team also. Talent. As you said, multiple sport athlete. East Rochester squeaked by Gananda, but East Rochester's undefeated at 6-0.
Yeah.
You gotta give it to them. Gotta give it to them. I love that for them. Let's go to East versus.
You already have one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time.
Who?
Ben Newman.
Ben 10.
Ben
10. Then we got East versus Padilla, an RCAC matchup. Padilla at Franklin. So for people that don't know, Padilla is at Franklin. So East versus Padilla flag. So coming into this game, Gerard, Padilla was undefeated.
Yeah.
Padilla was undefeated, but they were undefeated, and they were putting in some work. And when you talk about RCAC matchup, you know they're all like a little bit of a rivalry going on. But East knocked off undefeated Brooklyn Cotto.
Oh, they did. They won.
Yeah, Alani Miller Montgomery, Paul Miller's niece, Ayana Belser, each with a rushing touchdown this game. Tiana Martina completed 2 passing touchdowns. Journey Akoff. Now this girl is tough. Journey. Yo, that girl can move, man. She moves. Journey also had 2 interceptions. Jasmarie Lunas Pagan had an interception with a 50-yard return. Samaj Jackson with a receiving touchdown, 38-0.
Yeah.
East won 38-0. Wow.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, I gotta say something. For
You got it. Yeah.
Well, no, because some of the East girls was training this offseason too with their coaches. Yeah. So
Oh.
they're training with some of the East girls are training too. I'm looking to see if I remember the quarterback.
You need to go to Journey
don't-
Akoff. She plays basketball. What does Journey play?
Journey does play basketball.
Yeah, most of his girls do play.
Yeah, so Coach Van. See, what I like
Van
about
Van.
East, his wife is the head coach, and he's the defensive coordinator. So she's the boss. Hey, girl. Hey, Mrs.
Not in my house.
Oh, whatever. I love that for her. She could boss her husband around on the football field. So they change roles. I love that for them. And they coach in tandem. And he coached the girls the same way he coached boys.
Yeah. Well,
He don't change nothing.
Nah, that's not our style.
He don't change nothing. I know he was a young guy. He don't change nothing over
Not our
there.
style.
All right, so let's go on to some lacrosse. Gerard, Thomas versus Penfield lacrosse. Talk about this game. Let's talk about this game.
Yeah, well, these are 2 really good teams. It was tied at the half, 5-5. Penfield's defense, man, they went to work in the third, allowing only 1 goal to the offense scoring 3 goals. Okay, this game was tied 3 times. Real good game. Penfield put up 4 goals in the net in the fourth quarter. Griffin Bannister, he had 4 goals, 2 in the fourth quarter. Brody Joyce, man, that guy's good.
He plays football too.
Yeah.
You know, Brody
Yeah, he had
for
a great
Penfield.
season.
Oh,
He had a
yeah.
great season. Yeah,
Football,
Brody.
yeah.
But he was playing football to keep in shape for lacrosse. Because he's a Division I lacrosse player. Go ahead, Gerard.
Yeah, he had 3 goals and 2 assists. Harrison Easton, 2 goals. Maurer and Boyle, they had 1 goal each. Colin Miller, he went 10 for 12 from the face-off. So important. Mason Chembry, 12 saves. For Thomas, Jake Nicolay had 2 goals. Lucas Estelle, 2 goals. Blake Gibson, I'm sorry, 2 goals and 2 assists. And Thomas was mounting a comeback, scoring 3 goals in the final 2:35 of the game, but just not enough time. Penfield with the 11-9 win over Thomas.
I know you said Jobson because there is a Jobson on the team.
Yeah.
Because he's always Jobson to Gibson. So I don't know if you guys follow lacrosse at all. And I'm not gonna lie, before I have not covered lacrosse before. I haven't been to a lacrosse game before I started covering sports, y'all. Lacrosse to me is a lot of football players, first of all, play.
Yes.
A lot of football players play lacrosse.
For sure.
And especially at like the Penfields, the Victors, a lot of Fairports, right? You know what I found? Lacrosse is kind of like basketball with a stick. Their movements, they're setting, there's pick and rolls, it's the same movement, but man, listen, I said they hitting each other with a stick. I can't get over that part. They on the ground and they like boom, boom, boom. I said, listen, I don't know. Some brothers can't play this sport because I'm just saying. I'm saying.
Be fighting.
They are hitting each other with a stick bad too. Okay.
We had some kids that played that does lacrosse as well. It's one of them crossover sports from football.
Yeah.
As long as you can have the concentration with the stick, you understand that. But a lot of them will play defensive side of the ball in lacrosse.
And if you're in
offensive
shape,
side of skill, you gotta be pretty skillful in lacrosse to kind of play the opposite side of the ball.
I mean, so many athletic traits in that. You know, you have to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to be, but fast, hand-to-eye coordination. Got to be able to move side to side.
And cupping. They got to hold that ball in that net.
That's a skill in itself, being able to run with the stick.
With the stick and the ball. I wish
and getting
more,
beat up with the stick while
you're doing that.
Yeah.
I wish more kids in the city got into it. And we started one, Primetime started one at UPrep, right? Because we wanted to expose players, athletes to a variety of different sports. Very important to me. We started a golf program there. We started a lacrosse program there. Is exposing kids to a variety of different sports. That's very important that we do that, right? And what I found is that, man, if we have the resources to give our kids the training, the necessary training, the footwork, a lot of the stuff you guys do,
the knowledge,
all of that stuff. Those kids in the city would just be as dominant. And the reason why that's such an important part is I do a lot of college signings, as you're well aware. And I do more lacrosse signings than I do any basketball, football, everything combined. There's a lot of resources, and I think that sometimes we're leaving money on the table in city sports. And we're going to talk about that more, but I just believe that.
Yeah, the one thing about lacrosse too, though, is they don't give off full packages. Yeah,
but they'll give you a lot of them is like 70, 80%, but that's better than nothing.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, but you combine that with financial
aid and all of that stuff.
And then room and board, a lot of it be tuition. A lot of that stuff is football and basketball is the one that you're going to get
the full ride.
Yeah, you ain't got to pay for nothing.
But sometimes we push so much Division I. We're going to talk about that more. Yeah. It's like Division I or bust. In our community, I think sometimes we do that. Anthony started out at JUCO and then transferred to UW. I'm going to talk. That's one of my questions to you guys, because you guys have such elite athletes but you got athletes that could play at the Division II or Division III level.
We do have athletes that play at Division II.
Right, a lot of them. Yeah. But you might not push that. But there's a lot of people on social media, a lot of stuff that push.
I'm pushing free education. Because at D3, there's package deals that you can get
yes.
for D3. Yeah, I push free education. Now, y'all may see, obviously, the big-time names, but we push every kid to get free education. If you want to go to college, you want to go to school and get an education, we're pushing free education. That's our thing.
I can't wait for our segment with him. Let's finish my lacrosse.
Yeah, the D1 stuff is just, obviously is big and it's cool and all that stuff, but again, we push all levels. I mean, I was a JUCO kid.
So you get it.
Yeah, I played JUCO.
And sometimes D1 ain't all it's cracked up to be, because with the transfer portal, and I'm talking about for basketball at least.
Both football and basketball. It's going to be it's a thing where high school kids you have to get yourself out there earlier now. Like you can't be sitting there trying to wait till your 11th, 12th grade year to say, okay, now I want to try to get recruited. Recruiting people start putting stuff on their boards when you were 8th, 9th grade. When people go, what's too early? No, that's not too early. Yeah. Sports
we're going to get into
that. We're going to get into that. Let me finish my lacrosse because this is going to be a good conference. No, you're good. Let's finish off this Rush Henrietta Schrader lacrosse, boys lacrosse. This is a non-league matchup. Preston Jackson was a beast. He had 7 goals.
For Schrader. For Henrietta.
Yeah. Ronan Walker, who you know Ronan. You guys know Ronan. Ronan Walker with 2 goals and 2 assists. These are all football players too. Braden Towner, 1 goal, 1 assist. And Jack Hogan was in goal. Webster Schrader, Owen Martin, 1 goal, 1 assist. Matt Schilling with 2 goals. J.D. Stockman with 2 goals and 2 assists. Aiden Volmer also with 2 goals. Rush Henrietta pulled out the win over Webster Schrader.
10-7.
Yep. Okay, this is game right here. We're going right here's in the good part, right? We're gonna talk about some good lacrosse right here between all these teams next. Victor versus Irondequoit. So let me first say this. Irondequoit is one of the scrappiest teams in Section 5. Always been. They are a scrappy team consisting of a lot of football players, a lot of double, triple sport. Cooper Moore's on this, so on and so forth. So 2 very good teams. Gerard, let's talk about this game. Victor is, first of all, the reigning champs. So let's talk about this game.
Yeah, they're the reigning. Like, how many have
It's
they
a
won
lot.
in a row?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, so those two very good. But, there's a reason that they're the reigning champs. They won 19-10 over a very good Irondequoit team. Victor is... We'll get to that part later.
Yeah.
At the time, they were undefeated
In Section 5, yep.
All right. Their record improved to 7-1. Irondequoit dropped to 6-3. Victor, they beat St. Andrews of Florida, the number 9 team in the country. Yeah. And powerhouse West Genesee of Syracuse. Right. Lacrosse has more D1 commits, like we said, than any other sport in Section 5. All right. With all these great players and these great teams, Victor... I wrote this before last night's game. They're the gold standard in Section 5.
They're still the gold standard.
They are still the gold standard, yeah. They've just been outstanding over the years.
So Matthew Herendeen had 3 of his 4 goals in the first 6 minutes of this game, right? They jumped out to a quick 5-0 lead over Irondequoit. Gabe Hay and Will Johnson each with 3 goals and 2 assists. Johnson notched his 50th career goal. Jackson Mead, AJ Finiciario each added 2 goals and 2 assists. And Eli Rickey, and we're going to talk about him later on because he had one heck of a game last night. He's the draw control king in Section 5, right? Yeah. He won 27 of 29. So in lacrosse, guys, so I'm learning this myself. So in lacrosse, if you don't have the ball, you can't score.
Correct.
So draw control. Face-offs. Draw controllers, girls.
After
Face-offs. After each goal, they go for a face-off, and it's like in the mud type. It's like 2 guys battling old school. That's how I look at it, right?
You can literally not have to get the ball.
That's happened.
Possession after possession after possession.
Yeah.
Be down.
That's happened.
You get scored on. It's not like you got to get the ball back.
You could be down 4 or 5-0 without even touching the ball.
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's his thing, right? He dominates at face-offs. Right. So and then not for nothing, but the face-off guy for Irondequoit is also good. He's just a very dominant figure, right? He scored 1 of his 2 goals off the draw, so he gets that ball and he just keep on going. Added 2 assists. Nathan Terrence had a goal and his first 2 assists of his varsity career. For Irondequoit, Dylan Carey with 3 goals, 2 assists. Doug Velopek, 2 goals, 1 assist. Kieran Stenzel with 2 goals. Colin Giudice, 1 goal. His 50th of his career, and he also added 2 assists. So the reason why we said we're going to talk about both these games is because Victor, coming into the game last night, was undefeated in Section 5.
Okay.
Victor, I think that when these kids are born in Victor, they give them like a lacrosse stick instead of giving them a pacifier, they get lacrosse sticks. That's how dominant. When I say Victor is the gold standard of lacrosse, then we're gonna set this next segment up. Then there's Pittsford. We're not saying Pittsford is not the gold standard. What we're saying is Pittsford has not beaten Victor since 2012.
I think. Something like that, yeah.
And they match up every year.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not like they don't see each other. They match up every year.
Yeah, that's a long time not to beat.
That's a long time, right? So this is what I'm going to set up for y'all. I'm going to tell you how good
Not
this
as
is.
long as 32 years.
Well, 32 years, you're blessed. You should be doing backflips and thanking the good Lord for me, okay? So anywho.
Mr. Glacier, last time you backflipped, Mr. Glacier.
Please don't start backflipping.
1974.
I need the pension, Greg. Greg, I need the pension. Okay, so coming into this game, it's pouring rain, right? So we sent Jake.
Yeah.
We were
Poor
like,
Jake.
it's too rated. Jake, you gonna cover the game, right? This is what happened with the balls. You send Jake to go cover the game. Jake is texting me, said, this game is going back and forth. When I tell you, Pittsburgh came with a chip on their shoulder. Victor's like this, we done beat y'all up for years. It was the biggest game in Section 5. Victor's a nationally ranked team. Pittsburgh is a state-ranked team. Undefeated now.
Yeah, Pittsburgh or Penfield?
Pittsburgh.
Okay, Pittsburgh.
Is undefeated coming into this game. Gerard, talk about this game because he went down last night.
Yeah, the game was tied going into the fourth. It was 8-8. But Victor scored 3 quick ones.
Boom, boom, boom.
They led 11-8. Pittsburgh battled back to tie it at 11-11 late in the fourth. Under 5 minutes, Pittsburgh scored like 5 out of the 6 goals.
Yep.
Yeah. It was 12-11 with a minute left to go. Victor was on top. With 46 seconds left, Pittsburgh got the face off. Like we said, it's so important. And
which is shocking that they got it over Eli, though. Over Eli Ricky, but go ahead.
Yeah, and they scored with to tie it with about 23 seconds left?
Well, 43 seconds, they scored 2 goals. And Grant Lewis scored with they scored the 23 seconds to tie it.
To tie it.
And then Grant Lewis scored with 8 seconds to go to win it.
Yeah.
Just goes to show you how much happened in them 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it right now.
It's a lot going on, right? It's a lot going on in the last. Eli Ricky had his 50th career goal, and he had 7 goals last night.
Wow.
He had 7 goals, 1 assist.
Yeah.
He's only a
That's
sophomore. From face-off, he went 17 for 28 from face-off, which is really low for him. Those last couple face-offs, Pittsburgh actually got the face-offs, right? And the game was tied 4 times and 5 lead changes in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
Just in the fourth quarter alone.
Competitive game.
Yeah. Pittsburgh scored 3 goals in 88 seconds.
Yeah.
88 seconds, they scored 3 goals. So for Victor, Eli Ricky, though, is different. 7 goals, 1 assist. Jackson Meade had 4 goals. Colin Wheeler had a goal.
That must be number 3.
Eli, yeah.
Okay,
He's different.
yeah.
He looks different. He's different. For Pittsburgh, Grant Lewis had the winning goal.
Colin Wheeler had a goal too.
Yep. Grant Lewis had 3 goals and 3 assists. He had the winning goal with 8 seconds. Luke Judson with 4 goals. Jaden Mariani, who was at East. He was at East playing lacrosse for Rocky 6. He grew up in the Rocky 6 system.
Right.
Transferred from East High School to Pittsburgh. And he's doing work out in Pittsburgh. Contributes every single game. Trevor Nally. Yeah, Trevor Nally with 4 goals. Cole Getz with 2 assists. Bear Wareheim has actually 300th. His dad corrected me today. I said 200th saves, but it's 300. My bad, Dad, because 200 and 300 saves are whole different.
Yeah.
My boy was in my DMs. Primetime, I like you. You my girl. But my son had 300 saves. My bad. So I wanted to emphasize he's only like a sophomore. When you have a name like Bear,
Right.
your name is Bear. That's his real first name. The daddy know he wasn't gonna be doing something. You don't name your kid Bear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know he was gonna be a hockey player, lacrosse player, football player, wrestler, something. He name is like that's like my favorite. His name and Red Woke is my 2 favorite names in Section 5. You can't tell me Bear is just not a name for success, right? Like that's a name for success. He's my favorite player just because of the name, right? So, but Victor, they dropped 1 to Pittsburgh last night. The first time Pittsburgh have beaten them since I think 2012 or whatever it is. That's amazing game. Shout out to Jake because Jake
Pittsburgh beat Victor.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Victor was ranked number whatever in the country.
Yeah.
So Pittsburgh is
What
now.
win streak they was on?
They only lost 1 game.
No, I'm saying like prior to this year. They didn't win last year? They won sectionals?
Well,
last
Victor,
year?
they've won every year.
Every year.
They don't lose. That's my point. They don't lose.
That's different.
Yeah,
They're the Monroe. They're the Monroe of lacrosse.
When people gotta go up against them, people gotta think about it. Like they're elite.
Nah, that's good.
They're
I like dominance.
You have no problem with dominance. So you see, I like people like that. You don't believe in that participation stuff. That's why me and Greg, we see eye to eye.
You gotta earn it.
He ain't believe that participation stuff. I love that.
You gotta earn it.
You gotta earn that. And Pittsburgh, they earned that win. So shout out to Pittsburgh. Okay, so real quick, let's go into some Unified real quick. So Unified Sports, that means a lot to us. Just as an organization, our son Alan is on. He's on the spectrum. Mm-hmm. And so we always, when we go to Unified games, we just smile, right? Because they just make you can't go in there and be in a bad mood. When I leave out of Unified, I feel good. Gerard, don't you feel good?
I watched one this week.
You did?
Yeah, I was watching one this week. We had a couple of our kids in the Unified one this week at Monroe.
You know who did that last year?
Messiah did it.
Messiah and what's his name?
And, Styles.
Styles.
Yeah.
Styles was he was the one of the year. He won the helper of the year. Messiah was like the hype guy. He was leading. He was leading the dance thing and everything. And I love that you guys have kids that's participating in Unified, because not for nothing, you guys have a dominant program. Kids look up to these guys. So making sure that kids, like the Messiahs and the Styles, that's important. Yeah, and I'm glad that you guys do that.
Baby J, he did it this year. It's good for them to have an opportunity to give back. Same we tell them, like, we giving back to y'all. Y'all gotta do the same.
Good. I like that. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that. So that's, so when we go to we want to shout out Unified. When we go to Unified, every time we leave, you feel good, because you see these kids and they're just athletes, right? They just want to play just like everybody else.
Right.
And I absolutely love this for them. And I love that Section 5 and all these schools, a lot of strong school. Pittsford is a strong school, Churchville, Childline, Newark, the city school district. Edison got like 2 Unified teams.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So they really pour into these kids. And when I go to these games, superintendents be there. The principals are there. So I wanted to just shout out Unified, because it's very important to me when it comes on to equality in sports, that we showcase kids.
2 things real quick. First of all, Disney got to get rid of their motto, the happiest place on earth.
No, it's Unified.
Unified. Yeah. Whenever you go to Unified, it's the happiest place.
Second of all, I seen a couple kids with some intensity. They was like clapping and
Well,
a couple of them be intense. It's pretty cool.
And that's okay. That's cool.
I love it. I mean, you're playing the sport, play it.
But that's my second point. Okay, pet peeve here. Okay. I'm not talking about necessarily this game, because we've seen it over the years.
Yeah.
Right.
When the volunteers play hard.
Oh, you talking about,
They play
They guarding people.
So, hear me out.
Here, Greg.
That's competitive, though.
Playing extra hard, I get it. I know what you mean. But I be wanting them to at least play. Like, I'm seeing them go out there, dribble, let the kid just rip them and steal the ball. Like, just fumble the ball away. It's like, okay, come on, man.
Greg is the guy that will dunk on.
No, I'm not.
But athlete.
The way the world works, it's not going to work that way. You're not just take the ball from him, but
I respectfully disagree.
Dribble the ball. So you want people to say, here, take the ball.
Everyone has to earn it.
No, it's not that. Everyone has to earn it.
I don't think I've seen that so much.
Greg is different.
I seen one of my kids do that. He kind of dribbled and let the kid steal it. He was just like, I'm like, okay. It's cool. I was just piggybacking off of what he said. Pet peeve. So it's one extreme to the other. Let him just never do anything. Or
Greg got that everything. Michael Jordan competitiveness in him. But let the kids play, man.
Greg said everybody got to earn it. I don't care. You just don't. You got to earn that.
That's true, but I don't want people to paint me as the guy who he's gonna stump people and all that.
No, we know that.
But no, seriously,
don't make it too easy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you. Of course, respect the game.
Yeah, respect and
make the game better for them. Obviously, you playing the game, you having fun with the Unified, but just dribble the ball and just let them steal and just hand it to him. It's like, okay, like you just.
I get what he's saying.
I can respect.
I can respect that. Plus, some of them actually may want may want to earn the
I've seen
respect too.
if you've seen some online, some of them unified games online, some kids actually be getting buckets. Like they can really
we had a kid
at Harley last year.
at Harley School.
Holy cow, this dude could have played varsity.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like they actually got a skill set with him. It's
He had like 30 points. And I'm like, I said, is he a helper or is he a unified? They said he a unified and he could shoot that ball.
That's what I'm saying.
And
So
the kid from Wayne, he could play too.
Yeah, he could play. The light-skinned kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was shooting threes.
He might have been Puerto Rican. My man.
I don't know if he's Puerto Rican, but I know he could hoop. He was definitely hooping. All right, so shout out to the Unified Program throughout Section 5. I just want to shout that out because just giving kids an opportunity. And I would say Section 5 schools really pour into these kids. And I love the fact that all different type of players are helping these kids. That's important to me.
Dope, like I said.
It's not dope.
I
love
sat
that.
And watched it. I actually sat and watched at least the first half.
Yeah, they are into it.
They have a good time. When they make a basket, man.
Yeah, before that's what I said. Like watching them make a basket. Like I said, it's good for the kids to use the opportunity to get back. I definitely don't go extra hard and dunking on kids and all that. But some kids might want to get dunked on. Like, oh, I got dunked on by Styles McKenzie. Like,
I hear you on that one. All right, so let's go into some. Before we go to their segment, we have a couple more. Penfield versus Penn Yan. G-Lax, Gerard. Penfield gave Penn Yan their first loss.
Yeah. Well, Penfield's Class A, right?
Yep. And Penn Yan is at the lower class.
Yeah, they're Class D.
They play up all the time. I love it.
Yep. They ain't afraid of anybody.
That. No, they not. They want the smoke. Mm-hmm. So talk about it.
Yeah, Class A Penfield was 7-3, only one loss in Section 5. That was at Canandaigua.
Yep.
11-10 Thriller. Class D Penn Yan was 9-0 and coming off a big win against Fairport.
You were at that game.
And they also beat a very good Webster Thomas team earlier, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But this was all Penfield. They jumped to a 3-0 lead and came away with a decisive 16-8 win. It was the draw controls, Peyton Rothfuss versus Bailey Cooper. Two great players.
Yeah.
Penfield got most of the draws. Even when Bailey seemed to win the draw,
her line. Yep.
Yeah, the Penfield midfielders would scoop it up. And and they maintain possession. And like we always say, if you don't have the ball, you can't score. And Penfield had the ball a lot of the time. Their defense was stellar. Only 2 of the 8 goals were not off the penalty. So 6 of the goals were penalty shots.
Yep.
Right? They didn't allow many shots on goal, but when they did, the goalie, Kara's Hands, was there to stop
Because
it.
she got hands. That's her last name.
She got hands.
400th career save for her.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's a lot for Penfield because they don't give up many shots on goal.
No.
So for her to get 400, that's, yeah. For Penfield, Peyton Rothfuss, 4 goals, 2 assists. Lexi Corcoran and Olivia Lanning with 3 goals each. Jordan Rasmussen, 2 goals and 3 assists. Yeah, she was feeding them players.
Yeah.
Whitney Reynolds, 2 goals, 2 assists. Avery Fordham, 2 goals. And Reagan Circle with 2 assists. For Penn Yan, that girl is Bailey Cooper. That's a bad girl. Mm-hmm. She had 5 goals. Lila Hansen, McKenna Mullins, Ruby Berry each had a goal.
Yep. And we're going to talk more about Penfield later on. So let's move right into, before we go to them, we've got some Churchill Child Thomas baseball. Gerard, you went and covered this game while I was doing lacrosse.
Right.
So talk about this game.
Well, Churchill Child, they were 9-2, the number 1 seed in AA2. Thomas was 6-4, but they're a very good team. It was a pitcher's duel between Thomas's Joseph Rotundi
Harnack, yep.
Yeah. and Churchill Child's Bobby Rule. Now, Thomas scored at the bottom of the first on a wild pitch to take 1-0 lead. Churchill tied it up in the 4th when Nicholas Vaccaro doubled in a run. From there, pitchers did not allow a run. Churchill Child, they had their chances. In the 5th inning, Thomas first baseman Jacob Schoen, he made a great sliding stop of a ground ball to get the out and strand the Churchville Child runner at 3rd. And in the 6th, Churchville Child, they were threatening. They had a guy on 3rd with 1 out, but Rotundi Harnack struck out the last 2 batters to maintain the tie. The score remained tie until the 10th inning, and these are 7-inning games. But Churchville Child's Jordan Lopez doubled to lead off. Lucas Conswell followed with a hard hit that the Thomas third baseman couldn't handle. And after an intentional walk to load the bases, I'm sorry I don't have his name, but he's number 50, He doubled to score Lopez and Consuel to make it 3-1. Churchville Chili's Will Scheibel came on in relief for the same.
This game went all the way to 10. When you got two good pitchers, that's all it takes. And they had,
you did?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. All right.
Yeah, we were pretty. My senior year, we had our first home game for a sectional playoff game.
No.
At Edison, yeah.
Oh, what did you play?
O2's our
Were you a
coach.
shortstop?
I was second base.
Yeah, I could see that.
Then I moved to outfield. But we had some. My senior year, we had some kids that actually were pretty good, so I could move to outfield. But
Wow.
yeah, I played in my senior year. We got crushed by Gates. They came in. They came us out the water. But I mean, we had a good season that year. O2 was our coach at the time.
Okay. Yeah, he was a
Gerard's
varsity
guy.
coach.
All right, before we go to them, I just want to acknowledge this game because of the score alone. Williamson, Clyde, Savannah, softball game. Y'all, this game was called in the 6th inning. I'm going to tell you why. It was 26-26. Yes. That's not a flag football score. That's a softball score.
So why they call the game?
Because it was dark. There's so much hits, and the game was so long.
Yeah.
So Rashard went to cover this game. Let me set this game up real quick. The game was suspended due to the darkness, but this game was 26-26. Clyde Savannah was down 23-11. They were down at the top of the 5th and went on a run. Literally, this is not even a lie. They turned around and saw Rashard.
With 3 outs and they really went.
Yeah, they turned around and saw
11,
Rashard and said, "Prime time is here," and they changed everything. I swear, Rashard. They turned around and on her interview they said that, and they went. Then they went up. 20, it was 23-11, the top of the 5th, they were up. Then it was 26-23. Williamson then tied it up in the 5th. Then the game got suspended in the 6th, 26-26. The game is going to be finishing out, I think, this weekend. I just wanted to see a lot of hits on both sides.
That's impressive. My niece plays softball, so I went to a couple of games. So
26-26. So
I watched some paint dry, but
We stay positive here, Greg.
I still watch.
This is a positive program.
I be looking at certain. I look for certain things to get excited about.
well, that's a great introduction.
Like dunking on a unified player.
Nah, I ain't saying all that. You gotta put that on me.
All right, this is a great time.
I just want to add.
The world around town gonna be all correct. Dunk on the unified.
I just want to add, we went to the soda. We didn't have time to fit it in, but the soda game was like that too. It
Yeah.
was like 23-23.
Yeah.
And they in extra innings, and they had to stop it, and then they continued. Franklin got the win to finish that,
And then Soda got the win the next game, the doubleheader.
In a doubleheader, yep.
So great time for me to introduce. So they're gonna switch spots a little bit. So as I'm introducing, Roy's gonna take Gerard's spot.
I think you should stay.
No, we're gonna. It's better to let's switch it up. So we want to talk. We take this time to really talk about football in Rochester. And Roy Richards, Greg Hopkins, you guys are the standard. You guys have set something that's just been so dominant in Rochester. So we want to make sure we give you your time, give you not only your time, but your flowers, because I've been sitting back and I've been trying to get you on the show for like a year, bro. Right. You are the most requested and all of that stuff. I've been trying to get him on the show for a year. So Greg Hopkins is the founder of CTC. We got Roy Richards, the chief operating officer, director for CTC, both of which are RCSD graduates. And I want to stress that. All three of us, because I went to Wilson, are CSD graduates, because people be talking about the city school district. Right. And so, so I like to remind people where we from, because they be talking about city schools all the time, So I like to always say RCSD graduate. You graduated in 03, right? Yeah. From Edison. Y'all was all right. You graduated in 02?
02, yeah.
All these Edison people, and Julio graduated from Edison. Oh my goodness. But when you went to Wilson, we used to go, oh, look at those Edison people. You couldn't tell us nothing at Wilson. We were like
Wildcats, yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't tell us nothing. You
never lost to them, but okay.
Oh wow. See, too much Edison people up in here. Too many Edison people up in here. So fellas, I'm joking around a lot, but seriously, what you guys have created as an organization. We've been talking throughout the show. It's just been absolutely unique. And I want to give you guys your platform because you guys have some unique talent and some top players. So Greg, I'm gonna start with you. Talk about just what makes CTC so different. I just gotta ask. What make y'all so different? Because y'all are different.
I would say it's the approach. It's the intentionality of everything. The guys who coach and mentor and train, we're intentional about the approach and how we want to get the kids to the next level. And we have so much knowledge from us playing ourselves at the next level. So we know how it's supposed to look from having firsthand experience. So it's like the old adage, if I know what I know now. Well, we do know what we know now. And now it's giving back to those youth. And the earlier we get them, that's why you can see the transformation. The earlier we get them, I'm not teaching this 7-year-old a different skill than I'm teaching this 17-year-old getting ready for college. They're getting the same tutelage and training and mentorship in the same type of way we train them as well. There's no, I'm taking a light on you because you're 7'8". No, you're here.
Right.
Your standard, the standard is standard. We're gonna raise your level of play no matter how old you are. So now again, when you in year 5 and you 12, 13, you like, oh man, this kid's different. How is he so different? Well, he's been putting in that type of work that's collegiate ready. So yeah, it makes it easy for us to have those kids that look the part because again, they're getting put in that position to actually do that.
So Roy, you guys have a unique event coming up. I don't think I've seen that many D1 colleges on anything, basketball, football, anything ever. And obviously Primetime will be there to cover it. Let's talk about this Jamboree. Both of y'all, anybody can, listen, I'm excited for y'all. When is the Jamboree, first of all?
So it's May 11th and it's
That's
at
a Monday.
5 p.m., correct? Yeah.
That's downtown at the
Rochester Community Sports Complex.
So what made y'all decide to do this Jamboree? Now, I know the answer, but what made y'all decide to do it? Because the showcase that y'all are putting together is just different. Let's talk about that.
So just from an operational standpoint, I'm more on the operations side. So we want to get more coaches just to realize that there's talent in Rochester.
Right.
So every chance we get, we're going to promote our talent because as Greg said, when we came up in high school, there were so many guys that were 6'2", 180, 200 pounds that never got the exposure they needed. So just the first Jamboree alone that we did last year was $1.6 million in scholarship offers. So we've realized we have to do this again. And this time we have to make it bigger. So every year we just try to make it bigger, get more exposure. And these are Division 1, 2, and 3 schools. And we're just trying to get more coaches just to, come and give us the exposure.
You guys got some good coaches, though. It's just a list.
Yeah. Correct.
So I know he's on the operations side. So Greg, I know, first of all, it's funny because somebody said a couple years ago, Greg is like a male version of you, Karen. And they didn't say it like in a positive way, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't the way.
Crazy.
Right? They didn't say it in a positive way. I was like, oh, so we gonna get along then. Okay.
Right.
That's how I looked at it. They think, nah, he all about the business. They're describing it like it was a bad thing because you have standards.
Well, I guess it's the dunk on unified. It's the dunk on unified thing, but there's a level of expectation that I like to have for our area, and it can be displayed by what we put out there as far as the product. And so for me, it's simple. You either dominate or be dominated, and that's the only approach we have. That's why our kids, when they go places, they go to the Under Armour, they go to Nike Open, and they go all these places, and they're going viral. Well,
somebody just went MVP. Who just went MVP for you guys?
James Brumfield Jr.
Oh.
He just went MVP for the Under Armour Top 100. He was the defensive back MVP.
Oh, so you got another one coming up. You got a lot of few. So who are some of the players for this upcoming season we should be watching?
Man,
the list is so long. I know Pootie.
Yeah,
so I know Pootie.
You got Pootie Cunningham. You got Elijah Jones. You got Trent Buttles. You got Mason Anderson. You got Ant Lucas. You have that's Ant Lucas from East. I should say the names. I probably should say where they from, but then you have obviously Noah Collins, Bobo, Manny Wagstaff from Rush. You have
seems like all the top athletes are going through you.
James Brumfield Jr., obviously DB. You got Ray Garcia. He's a problem.
Yeah.
Who was I missing?
Monroe gonna win again this year?
Yeah, we win the states again.
You see how?
I'm trying to name the players. She distracted me. She's trying to do that one thing to try to get me there.
Hey, you set high standards, right?
Yeah, no, the standards is definitely high. I think what happened with those players that I'm naming, I hate to forget names. I don't really want to forget names, but those players that I've named just off the top, those are Ty Brown. Those players that we've named is just players that have been really putting in the effort and the work. So what we tell our kids is to put in work to fidelity, right? Meaning that everything we're telling you to do that's a part of this process, you have to do to put yourself in that position to leave no stone unturned. And for us, the ones that do it, it shows. And it's hard to deny that, right? It's hard to deny when you see kids not only just performing in Rochester. People are like, oh, well, they only doing this in Rochester. Well, when we travel, we win the majority of the tournaments we go to.
I know. You guys win it.
And so it's not a thing where it's just like, oh no, we just diamond around here in New York State. No, we go everywhere in the region and we just win. And coaches are noticing that. They're starting to see, okay, hold on.
They're not starting. You guys bring a lot of coaches here. Messiah really attracted so much. Pootie. I mean, it's like we had
even players before them, like the Victor Snows of the world, the Jamari Johnsons of the world.
You've been doing this for a while. How long has CTC been around?
17 years.
Wow. So you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Why did you call it Changing the Community? I like the name.
Because that's what we were doing. It's a different kind of game. Before it was all this thing about people saying that kids were going into gang violence earlier, and it's more of a let's bring that aware. People say, oh well, why we always talk about sports? Well, sports is a microcosm of life, right? Yeah. And then you have this situation where you get kids who want to be on social media for the wrong things and posting and doing different things like the kid boy sites. People like to talk about that. That was getting so much momentum, but because we stopped talking about and promoting the positivity of what's going on in our community, and so that was one of the things where it's like, you know what, we're going to change the mindset and the outlook on just being a jock, right? The whole he's just an athlete, he's just a jock. No. You're
trying to change the language of how they look at our kids.
Yes, and then view how our kids are operable. And, and we show that our kids can actually do the same thing. That same thing. They are just positive role models in themselves, even at a young age. We teach our kids to be young professionals. At the end of the day, now they're getting paid to go to college.
Yeah.
So it's a business. Game has changed. Yeah, the game has actually changed as well from when we first started. It's funny. We were called street agents when we first started.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. We were called street agents when we first started. Yeah, because because we were bringing the kid, because it was different for coaches in the college at the collegiate level to see non-high school coaches doing work
with kids for
the kids. Yeah, because AAU for football wasn't a thing.
Right.
They seen it for basketball, right?
Right.
AAU circuit.
Who are these guys?
But yeah, for football wasn't really a thing. So when that underground world started to blossom with the 7-on-7 thing that we got into and started really building it up, it was, again, that's how we was looked at and viewed. But now it's like, oh, well, they got the access to the best athletes. And not just the access, is they're creating the athletes within themselves and turn them into top athletes at the collegiate level.
So we have about 30 to 45 seconds left.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what colleges, name some colleges that's going to be there.
Well, before we go there, I want to talk about the impact of the change that you mentioned. Last year, Monroe won state championship. And we forget to mention that 3.0 GPA. A few years back, city school district was sub 50%.
Yeah.
So if you're a student athlete in CTC, you're graduating. You're going to school.
So you're graduating kids.
Correct, yes.
That's what he's talking about with sports. That's what he's called changing the community.
That's the change we want to see. But as you mentioned, the schools, wow, we have big schools. We have Penn State coming, Syracuse. Yes. I know Greg's been in touch with a lot of schools. We recently got a call from the North Carolina State as well. State, So there's a lot of big schools that's willing to travel, take the ride to Rochester because they saw Messiah and they missed out. Yep. So now they're like, who's next?
Well, Rochester to me is now a sports city. between basketball, NBA, and football. So first of all, let me commend, you guys could sit in, as we wrap this up, but commend CTC changing the community. Sports is a microcosm of life. I love that. It was hard to get these guys in here, but we wanted Rochester to see what's going on. Your girl will be at the Jamboree, which is on the 11th. What they're doing, they're bringing Division 1, 2, and 3 coaches, JUCO, all kind of coaches will be here in Rochester on May 11th, and I will be there. Let's go on. I'm going to go to Karen's pick first while Gerard gets set up on his chair. Oh, so let's go right into Karen's pick because Gerard's going to get set up. So for Karen's pick, man, listen. Pittsford boys lacrosse, they stayed perfect on the season, and they are my pick. Grant Lewis had the winning goal with 3 goals, 3 assists. They knocked off a Victor squad who is a national ranked team. So the Pittsford boys lacrosse team, you are my MVP this week. You are Karen's pick. Now for Gerard's pick.
My pick is Penfield girls lacrosse team. They won states last year, right?
Keep going.
Okay. This past week, the girls knocked off undefeated Penn Yan, who has a talented Bailey Cooper. Yesterday, they beat Brighton. Last week, they beat Victor 9-6, Fairport 13-7, and Hilton 14-4. They also handed Pittsford girls a loss back on the 13th. They are elite. And let me next mention a few names. Lexi Corcoran, Avery Fordham, Whitney Reynolds, Jordan Rasmussen.
She's only a 9th grader.
Yeah, only ninth grader.
That's dope.
Peyton Rothfuss.
She's going to Florida.
Florida. That's big time. Olivia Nanning.